Without realizing, women carried cholera home in the water.
You want to know the truth? Technology rules the world, and engineering is that root that takes engineering, that takes technology in ruling the world. When we talk about truth, this is the best program for you to know the truth about engineering, because we bring you practitioners in the various fields of engineering, and together we explore the advantages and importance of engineering in our everyday lives, thereby encouraging young ones to get acquainted with some of these fields and ensure that they look into studying some of these branches of engineering in the tertiary institution as the need may be, and also to draw your attention more to the field of engineering and ensure that we know the importance in our society. My name is Miriam Usman. This program is brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. He's the reason why you see this program every Friday. Don't forget, we also encourage children or teenagers or youth who have innovative engineering idea. So if you're any child that has an engineering idea between the ages 15 and 22, please, you have an opportunity to exhibit your innovative idea on the program. Don't forget, we also welcome companies that are interested in growing and nurturing developed minds and young engineers in the making. Please call us on 0803 64011944. I take that again, 0803 64011944. That's the number of the chairman of NSE Ogun State Chapter. When we return, I will be introducing our guest as well as our topic of conversation on the program today. But just before we go on that, let's take the question of the day. It's our culture on the program to take a question of the day and question of the week. You get to answer the question of the day on the program, and when you are completely correct with the answer, you stand a chance to win a prize on the program, courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon. That's the question of the day. Which of the following electrical circuit is used for household appliances? Option A, we have series. Option B, we have parallel. And option C, we have series parallel. And option D, we have bridge. If you know the answer, please do vote to call us via the number that will be displayed shortly on the screen. You can also send us your messages, the answer to this question, via our social media handles. Now we return, and when we go on this break, and when we return, I bring you our guests and our topic of conversation. Please stay with us. Well, thank you for staying tuned. We're being joined on the program today by Engineer Dr. Olariwaju Moses. He's a member of NSC Abeokuta branch, and he will be taking us through the topic, the significance and roles of material engineering to engineering profession. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me on the program.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. We're looking at material engineering, and I know you're very much prepared. Your slide is looking at us directly. I want you to take us through it. What's material engineering like?
All right. To our viewing audience, I will be presenting a topic on the significance and the roles of materials engineering to the engineering profession. Generally, as engineers, be it civil engineer, electrical, mechanical, all disciplines of engineering, we all make use of materials in one way or the other. We also make use of tools, and these tools are also made of material. They are made from materials. We as well make use of machines in carrying out our daily task, and these machines too are made of materials. That tells us that the basis for engineering function is what is the use of materials. Therefore, I will go by introducing what materials engineering is, and we say materials engineering is a multidisciplinary field of engineering that employs engineering ingenuity combined with the knowledge of mathematics, physics, chemistry to design or develop new materials and modify existing materials for the purpose of achieving a predetermined combination of properties. It doesn't stop at that. Materials engineering also has to do with the processing of materials based on the behaviors of the individual materials. And these behaviors are basically inherited from the structure properties relationship of each material. What does it mean? That means to a civil engineer, for instance, now, a civil engineer makes use of materials. Example of materials made use of by civil engineer is the cement, your granite, and water, and steel, and so on. Now, all of this, each of these material, they have their properties that makes each of them to be used for civil engineering work. Now, the one that will be used for civil engineering work may not be of interest when it comes to a production engineer, because of the behavior of material needed for a production engineer to perform his function differs from that needed by a civil engineer. And these properties are dictated by the relationship between the structure and the properties of the materials. That takes us to who is a materials engineer. Who is a materials engineer? Now, a materials engineer is someone who understands the science that relate the structure and properties of material, and ultimately possesses the knowledge, ability to tune or modify this property for improvement on the inherent properties of existing material. That's one. Create new material properties on existing material, or create a new material entirely. That is to say, a materials engineer. So, that is a materials engineer has that ability to understand the relationship between the materials structure and the property. Then also get involved in the modification of this property in order to meet certain engineering needs. Must be able to modify the structure. Then is also involved in the processing of these materials for various engineering needs. Then that takes us to what engineering materials are. Engineering materials are a group of materials utilized in the construction, development, and manufacture of man-made structures, components, parts, and devices. The basic function of engineering material it is that ability to withstand applied load without fracture and without excessive deflection. That is the basic need for any engineering material. It must not fracture and it must not deflect excessively on application of load. Now, the development in engineering materials have been influenced specifically by scientific research into the structure of matter and its interaction with mechanical properties, electrical, magnetic, and chemically different species. Let's look at the classes of materials, of engineering materials that engineers use generally. Whatever discipline it may be, these are the classes of materials, engineering materials that have been employed in carrying out our engineering jobs. Number one is metal. Metals and alloys. It's number one on the list. Then we have polymers. A typical example of polymer are the plastics we find around. That's just a typical example. We have ceramics. A typical example of materials made with ceramics are our floor tiles. Then we have composites. Then we have biomaterials. Then we have semiconducting materials. Okay? So let's look at the major contributions of materials engineering in today's world. Number one is in the automotive industry. The materials engineer has been able to develop materials, that enhances fuel efficiency by making sure that the material being used in making most of the parts in our automobile are of lesser weight, yet having strength as much as the traditional materials that are being used, in the 70s and 80s steel that are of that are dense. This is a denser material, but nowadays, for instance, a car bumper, we now have car bumper that are made of fiber composites. These are lighter material. They are very light, making the whole entire weight of the vehicle to become lighter, so it will enhance the fuel efficiency of the car. Then we also have in health industries. The materials engineers have been able to develop materials that are compatible with body fluids for the production of prosthetic, for instance, limbs, that is artificial limbs. Then in the electronic industries, we have the application of shape memory alloys in electronics as sensors and actuators. In this case, the use of this shape memory alloy, eliminates, the incorporation of a power source and drive, in some of our electronics, thereby reducing the number of parts available in that electronic device. Then in the paint industry too, or coating industry, we now have smart coating. Example of coating is the use of when you apply paint to you actually call it coating. We paint to your steel. Let's say you have a door made of iron steel, iron now, that is steel. You now apply coating. Now this coating, there are coatings that we call smart coating. When you have a crack in the coating, this coating is able to sense this crack by sensing change in its environment, probably change in pH in that environment, and as such, the coating can do what on its own, seal this crack. This is a development of our materials engineering. And then also in the agricultural industry, we also have, where we have what we call hydrogel that has the ability to absorb moisture from the atmosphere. Then during droughts, this hydrogel can apply this moisture, absorb moisture to the root of the plant, directly to the root of the plant, so that the plant will be supplied with water even during drought. All right? Then, areas of specialization in materials engineering. We have the metallurgical engineering. These specialists, they deal with the extraction, refining and processing of metals. Then we have polymer engineering. These aspects, they deal with the processing of polymer, and they also deal with strengthening of polymer for other applications that may require other properties. Then we have ceramic engineering. Deal with this aspect. Deal with the production and processing of ceramics. Then we have bioengineering. Bioengineering has two parts. One that's related to materials obtained from living organisms such as plant parts, then from animals. Then we have the other parts that deals with the production of biocompatible materials. That means materials produced from either metals or polymer that are compatible to the body fluid, that it does not produce, by the time this material reacts with the body fluid, they don't produce toxic material that will damage your body tissues. Then we have composite engineering. Then we have forensic materials engineering. Then this aspect of materials engineering, which is forensic materials engineering, deals with investigation of failures.
We have a caller. Thank you, Samuel, for joining us.
Hello?
Samuel, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what's the answer to our question of the day?
The question, ma'am.
The question of the day. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
The question of the day is, which of the following electrical circuits is used for household appliances? You have series as option A, parallel as option B, series parallel as option C, and bridge as option D. What's the answer?
Option A.
What is option A?
Series.
Series.
Yes.
All right, someone will let you know if you're correct or not before the program ends. But just before you go, let us know the last 2 digits of your phone number.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us the last 2 digits of your phone number.
42.
22.
42.
All right, thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Now, pathway to becoming a materials engineer. Number one is by studying materials engineering directly. Then upon graduation, we register with the relevant professional bodies, that is the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Then go ahead to register with Koren, and you become a materials engineer. Or you can as well study allied courses like mechanical engineering. Then you can go ahead to specialize in materials engineering, or you can go further studying materials engineering at master level.
We have another caller. Timothy, thank you so much for joining us.
Auntie?
Yes, go ahead,
You
please.
fine, no? That's a fast thing.
Hello, Timothy. Okay, just call us back and tell us the answer to the question of the day. And just maybe you stand a chance to win our prize on the program courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSE. So please, we are wrapping up now, and I trust that you are almost at the end of your presentation.
Yes, I am. Like I said, that you can as well go through studying allied courses like mechanical engineering, then you specialize in materials engineering, or you can go for a master degree in materials engineering, that is after studying mechanical, or you go directly studying materials engineering.
We have another caller. Omotosho, thank you so much for joining us. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's the answer to our question?
Parallel.
Parallel.
Yes, ma'am.
That is option B.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will let you know if you're correct or not. Please tell us the last 2 digits of your phone number.
94.
94. Thank you for calling.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
In conclusion, engineers' role in society for products and infrastructure development are basically material dependent. Materials engineers are key and key into this role of creating materials that will serve design needs of all other engineering professionals to meet clients' requirements.
Thank you so much, Engineer Dr. Olarinwaju Moses, for that wonderful presentation. This is where we draw the curtain on the program today, where we did ask you to tell us the answer for the question of the day, which is, which of the following electrical circuits is used for household appliances? Option A, series, option B, parallel, option C, series parallel, and option D, bridge. The answer to that question is option B, parallel. I think we have a caller. We had a caller who got that correctly. So we got your last 2 digits number, and be rest assured that our team will reach out to you for your gift on the program, courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon FNSC. This is where we bring you all that concerns engineering every week. So ensure you mark your calendar for next week's episode as we bring you another engineer to tell you more about the world of engineering. Until then, my name is Miriam Usman. Thank you for watching. See you next week.